Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Ashley Hurley.
And I'm Caitlin Klein with this week's LMU Tri-State News Update.
Starting off news this week, the names of the men and woman involved in a Monday wreck were released. The Tennessee Highway Patrol confirmed that 54-year-old Mark Nelson of Speedwell was killed in the accident. His vehicle was hit head-on, injuring the driver and sending the two men in the other vehicle to the hospital. The accident happened on Londonderry Road, and drugs and alcohol are believed to be a factor. The accident does remain under investigation.
Next up, a Middlesboro man is behind bars after allegedly being involved in a hit-and-run. 22-year-old Jonathan Whitaker of Cumberland Gap was arrested by a Middlesboro police officer on several charges and violations. Police were dispatched to the hit-and-run involving a black Nissan Xterra. The vehicle was seen by police traveling at a high rate of speed. Whitaker allegedly attempted to eat what was suspected to be marijuana. Whitaker was still in custody at the Bell County Detention Center at press time. He's being held on a $2,500 cash bond.
Continuing with arrest, an alleged high-speed chase ends with the man remaining behind bars. 47-year-old Bobby Murray of Middlesboro was arrested by the Kentucky State Police and is charged with 2 counts of first-degree fleeing or evading police, first-degree wanton endangerment, and several other charges. Murray left a home following a domestic violence complaint being issued. KSP attempted a traffic stop, but Murray continued to flee, reaching a speed of 100 miles an hour. Murray eventually lost control of the vehicle and on US 25 where he was arrested. According to reports, an open beer container was found inside his vehicle.
It was a rough morning when a 2-vehicle accident stalled traffic Thursday at the Crossroads intersection in Harrogate. The Claiborne County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to the fender bender just after 7:30 a.m. When they arrived, there were no injuries, but both vehicles sustained damage. The Tennessee Highway Patrol is handling the investigation.
A new Tazewell family got quite the surprise Thursday afternoon. According to officers, a vehicle came out of park on Lebo Circle. The vehicle proceeded through 2 yards across the street and rolled into a home. The family of the home came outside to find the vehicle crashed into their front porch. There were no injuries in the accident and no charges have been filed.
It was a scenario taken straight from a training session last Wednesday afternoon when several agencies responded to a house fire on Barker Road in New Tazewell. 911 received a call regarding a house that had been struck by lightning. Witnesses state the occupant was able to get out of the house without injury. Just a few weeks ago, agencies from Claiborne County practiced this scenario involving a house fire caused by lightning strikes. Several departments responded, including some from outside of Claiborne County, such as the Sharps Chapel Volunteer Fire Department and Northeast Union County Volunteer Fire Department. Claiborne County Sheriff's Department and Claiborne County EMS also responded.
Go ahead. Now for a look at what's going on in sports around the tri-state area. Let's turn to the men who know it best. Here is Adam Plyler and Adam Haley with LMU Tri-State Sports.
Welcome to LMU Tri-State Sports. I'm Adam Plyler. Early last week, LMU DCOM faculty and students collaborated to give free physicals to high school students and student athletes in the tri-state area. Director of the event, Dr. Chris Yonts, tells LMU Tri-State Sports why this event is so important to the area.
We are doing free physicals for the community. We have numerous high schools. These are the high schools basically we have traditionally performed physicals for in the past. We usually do this in 4 or 5 sessions, but today we're going to compile them all in one big session. Well, it does provide that free physical. Some folks have a hard time getting that covered. You know, they don't have physicians. It provides that good screening care for blood pressure, problems like that.
Jan says he hopes the event can grow in the years to come. Over the next few weeks leading up to the start of the high school football season, we will be previewing the local high school football teams. To kick off our series, we start at Cumberland Gap High School, where Adam Haley talked with new head coach Corey Russell about the upcoming season.
The Cumberland Gap Panthers will look a little different this upcoming season, but the expectations are still the same.
You know, we fully expect to be not much drop off from last year. You know, last year we had a good season and finished up second in the district. Made it to a first-round playoff game. This year, you know, we feel like we have a great group of senior leadership, and we can keep that going. You know, the hope is to do better. You know, and that's what we're working for.
Returning 13 starters, leadership should be a key to a successful year.
We are returning 7 starters on offense, 6 on defense. You know, but the seniors that we have this year played a lot last year. You know, we had a lot of juniors that played last year that are now seniors, so I feel really good about the overall experience of our starters this year.
The schedule this season will have 5 playoff teams from last year on it. But to no surprise, the Claiborne game still sticks out as one of the biggest.
You know, the Claiborne game will be a big game this year. You know, that's the MyVLT2 game. You know, every conference game that we play is a big game. You know, we only have 5, so, you know, we need to win them all.
The Cumberland Gap Panthers finished the 2012 campaign with a 7-4 overall record, however losing at home in disappointing fashion in the first round of the playoffs. They'll start off the 2013 campaign in the first game of the Corey Russell era at Campbell County on August 23rd. It'll be the first time a team from Claiborne County has played a Campbell County team in 21 years. Reporting for LMU Tri-State Sports, I'm Adam Haley.
Thanks for the report, Adam. Tune in next week as we head over to Bulldog Country to preview the 2013 Claiborne Bulldogs. That's all for sports. Ashley, back to you.
It's a story that several throughout the community have followed. The Claiborne County Marine, who was severely injured in Afghanistan, has now made his transition to living here in Claiborne County. Marine Lance Corporal Cody Evans of Speedwell was injured after he stepped on an IED in 2011. Both of his legs were amputated as a result of that explosion. He spent 11 months at the Walter Reed Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, before returning home last year. Since his return, Evans has continued to adapt, and recently he was paired up with a special companion to make his life easier. His new companion is a beautiful white Labrador Retriever named Willie. After Evans was hurt, volunteers with Smoky Mountain Service Dogs knew they wanted to help. Evans is the 4th veteran in Tennessee who has received a service dog from Smoky Mountain Service Dogs and will be taking Willie home permanently this weekend.
In state news, law enforcement officials across the state are stepping up a campaign to increase highway safety. Richard Holt, Governor's Highway Safety Office Law Enforcement Administrator, says law enforcement statewide will be out in force from July 18th to July 21st and from July 25th to July 28th. This begins the final phase of the More Cops, More Stops campaign to crack down on drivers who are speeding, drunk, distracted, or not wearing a seatbelt. In 2011, officials say more than 700 people died in Tennessee traffic crashes. 27% of the fatalities involved a drunk driver. 23% were speeding-related crashes. 57% of those who died were not wearing their seatbelts at the time of the crash.
In other state news, the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security say the average wait time at state driver services centers has decreased since last year. Officials say the average wait time from January 1st through June 30th at centers statewide, excluding reinstatement centers, fell from 34 minutes in 2012 to 31.5 minutes in 2013. However, there was a slight increase from the first quarter of 2013. The average wait time was 30.5 minutes compared to the second quarter, when the wait time averaged 32 minutes. Commissioner Bill Gibbons attributed the hike in part to the increase in handgun carry permit applications, as well as the installation of new equipment.
Snooty the Manatee was born when Harry S. Truman was president and still entertains visitors in his tank at the South Florida Museum in Bradenton. Sunday, Snooty will turn 65. To mark the occasion, the museum will host a free party on Saturday. He's the oldest manatee in captivity and possibly one of the oldest ever. Snooty, who is in good health, eats about 80 pounds of lettuce and vegetables every day to sustain his 1,000-pound body. He shares a tank with 2 smaller manatees that are being rehabilitated for cold stress, and lately he appears thrilled to greet his visitors from the media. Snooty is the longest-lived manatee in captivity, but it's entirely possible that they could live just as long in the wild if they didn't face threats like boat propellers. Over the years, some have claimed that Snooty has been replaced by younger manatees. Museum officials laugh at the tales. Thank you for joining us this week for LMU Tri-State News. I'm Caitlin Klein.
And for everyone behind the scenes, I'm Ashley Hurley. We'll see you next week.